everyone. Welcome back to Galaxy Podcast Episode 7. We're always happy to see you back on the channel. On this episode, sadly, our EHAP has went to London, so I will be hosting on my own. So today we have our guest from Korea. He's an expat here, and then his name is John Ko, also Sung Hong Ko, right?
Yes.
So welcome to our podcast, John.
Thank you.
Please give us a little bit of introduction about yourself.
Yeah. My Korean name is Sung-hoon Ko. My surname is Ko, so let's go by Ko Sung-hoon. That's right flow. But you can call me John. People call me here John. Yeah, Mr. John or John Baksh.
John Baksh.
Or John. Actually, Ko Baksh.
Oh.
Yeah, Ko is my last name, so Ko Baksh.
Ko Baksh.
Yeah.
So they call you like either John Baksh and Ko Baksh.
Yeah, or Mr. John, yeah. Because I don't really prefer to be called Ko Baksh, because actually many people called my father Ko Baksh. So whenever they call me Ko Baksh, I feel like it reminds me of father, so.
They're calling you with your surnames, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I assume that, they calling you Baksh, which means you're connected to an education sector.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do run the iDO class. It's a language education institution here in Mongolia. And then we mainly teach Korean, but we also have English and Chinese as well.
So what took you to this education field? What made your decision to have a business in the education field?
It's a very long story. But
That's short. We have time.
Are you ready to hear?
Yeah, we have hour and a half.
Okay, then let me have some coffee. Okay. Actually, I didn't plan it at first, but whether if you know or not, maybe you probably heard about my parents, right?
Yeah.
So they are educator, and they are the doctor from Seoul National University, and they had a heart for Mongolia long ago, like around 30 years ago, and they wanted to
30 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they volunteer and they decide to come to Mongolia, and then they decide to involve in this education. They had a heart for Mongolians to improve the Mongolians' education. So they found school, the university, and also now they're running schools here. Yeah, so they're like involving the education field in Mongolia a very long time. So as a son, I always been there, and seeing how they are dedicated, how they committed to this education and to the Mongolian education to be in detail. So for me, it was very natural for me to see how this flows and how this the education path are flowing and going in Mongolia. And then, as myself, I also involved in entertaining field, right? Sing and
sing. You do sing, right?
Yeah. So at the same time, I think the education for me is like something that I can avoid. It's one of my calling, my vision, and my mission to carry. And I just felt like, because I studied English education, and then I studied education sector, and I felt like as I see this, I want to give the good quality language education to students in Mongolia, because as you know, now there are many schools and there are many academies as well, like a Korean English, where you can learn Korean English, many foreign language. But when it comes to the quality, I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether they're qualified, and I'm not sure whether students and parents what kind of standard they see when they choose and select the school, right? And teachers.
Obviously, and it's their parents' decision, right?
Yeah. So just because it's not like, it's because not because you're good at Korean or English, it doesn't mean that you are a good teacher, right? Because as a teacher, the teacher needs to be trained how to teach, and the teacher needs to be certified when it comes to teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just because you're a native speaker, because just because you're good at English doesn't mean that you can be a good teacher. So my mission was, okay, I want to at least set up the good education school, like a good school institution for next generation, for students. And I want to show, I want to let them know what the good teachers are. And then I started following my parents. I started the small language education institution here, and then I believe it is well going until now.
How many students do you have now? And how many graduates? Like, how long do they study?
It's a mix. I would suggest it's around 6 months to 1 year courses, and then I found that they are for Korean section. They study Korea mostly to study abroad, study in Korea. So I recommend 6 months to 1 year, and then we recommend students to go to Korea, and also recommend schools.
Oh, you also paved the road to Korea then?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
that is amazing.
yeah, I didn't really actually plan in mind about introducing schools to Korea, but as we are teaching Koreans, we figure out that there are, like, almost all of them wants to study abroad. And I just felt like, okay, we have a mission to introduce a good school. It's not like a top school always, but a good school for each one of them, you know, like one of their major, what is your major and what is your situation, what is your financial background now status.
Those are one of the important aspects, right?
Yeah. So we're trying to give the fact to them, not just not just like a dream. Just good things about it. Like, okay, if you come, you can go to school for sure. You will get all this visa and everything will be okay. Not like this, but we want to approach to them, and we want to really hear what's their story behind their family background and everything, and then we want to give the realistic advice to them. So,
and I'm also pretty sure that like the suggestions of your institute to these universities are very important also, right?
Yeah.
In order to, let's say the student's background and everything was okay, and then the universities might not accept them, but then like there's where you guys come in and then like suggest the students, like, you know, maybe probably the flow of the student, right, how he or she was during the education system, and then you would suggest this student is very good, and then I would suggest you guys to take it. Do you guys do that?
Yeah. So if you will see, if you see our teachers, I'm very proud to introduce them and have them always. They all have experience studying abroad. I mean, which is for Korean teacher in Korea, obviously, not just for bachelor, but also master as well. So they're not just there to teach Korean language just only, but they're there as a sister and brother, like a role model for them. So whenever they want to study abroad in Korea, especially, they can be there, you know, and listen and consult, give advice to them. And mostly, you know, we give a question to them like, why really? What's the purpose you want to study abroad? And what's the main purpose that you want to study in Korea? Not just because of its Korea. I really encourage all of you to have a specific purpose. Just going abroad, just going to America, it doesn't help you. It's not always good. In Korea also, back then 1980s, there's so-called American dream. Like everyone wants to go to America.
Exactly.
But the thing is why, right? So I want to encourage, and I want to tell and share the students always. Do you love your country? And I want you to love your language and your culture in your country first, Mongolia. I love Mongolia. I respect Mongolia, and I'm sure you do as well. So if you do not love your country, if you do not respect your language and culture, you will never learn others as well. And I want you to be good at both sides. That's the key tool you can be successfully used in these days to the world. If you're just speaking good at Korean or English, what's the difference between just being used or use Korean native speaker, right?
Yeah.
Because you are Mongolian and also you know about your language and culture best. So I want you to be aware of that. Like, please be good at your language, but be confident of who you are. Then go to abroad and study.
That is nice. That is amazing. And before we deep dive, we really deep dived in it.
Yeah, I
like-
told you, are you ready to talk?
yeah.
I'm sorry, I just
So,
talked too much.
It is fine. It is fine. It is completely fine. The first question that we usually ask is why Mongolia? Like, why did you choose to come here?
Yeah,
I see some influence from your parents for sure, but then there's a decision that you made yourself to stay, right?
Yeah, that's really
what
so true.
was the cause?
Yeah, firstly, obviously, I had no choice. I had no choice. At that time, when I first came, I was only 11.
Oh, okay.
And then, I had no choice. I just followed my parents. And then when I become 20, I had a choice to study in abroad or stay in Mongolia. And then my father, deeply and seriously, he encouraged and recommended me to stay here in Mongolia.
Oh, really?
But I was like almost made my decision to stay in Canada. Because I thought, okay, maybe at least I want to broaden my perspective. I want to see more. I mean, obviously, Canada and America, US is well-developed country, so it's worth to invest my time there and see
and explore,
right, gain experience, right? But he was like, yeah, John. But obviously, he called my Korean name, right? Just saying John. Okay, that's easier for you and everyone. There must be the reason that we are here, and you've been here since your childhood. And then if you just follow what others wants to take, just the normal path, like you just go, why do you want to study in Canada? That was the first question. If you just want to go to Canada because it's Canada, I want you to rethink about it, because I see the value that you've been here in Mongolia, and then you are the one you've been here since your childhood, and then I want you to hear with us and find the meaning of that you are in Mongolia. And then it was like a right day. It was like one day before the flight. I already reserved the flight.
Oh,
to
you
go back to
already?
Canada,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, right there was school I chose and everything.
Oh.
And I start to write essay, sort of like, should I stay or go? And then just on the whole night, I wrote it like 10
Basically, you're
pages.
talking to yourself.
Yeah. I want to just, list it, not just by my emotion, but I want to just list it like logically, And then in the morning at 7 o'clock, I finished what I wrote, and I just read it carefully one by one. And I just realized my emotion and my feeling, obviously, at that time,
wants to leave.
Yeah, wants to leave the better, just comfortable place, to Canada. And then my English was possible, so it was much easier for me to communicate and make friends over there. But I really took what my father told me about the value stuff. I want you to. So what I just told myself, like, okay, John, I want to be a pioneer, like a waymaker. Let me be the waymaker in Mongolia, where, especially at the time, imagine like 20 years ago, it was very tough.
Rough,
right?
Rough years. And then expats were like not so welcome here and everything.
And then still at that time, plus I was young, right? And then emotionally, I preferred there, but I just kept thinking, and my value. Okay, what's my value? There must be the reason that I'm here in Mongolia. Then let me find the reason, and then let me be the waymaker, and I want to be the model for Koreans. That not only just older people or elder, but I want to show them to the young people in Korea that okay, the Mongolia, this is the place where you can live and where you can work and where you can have fun too. So okay, so then let's even though I don't know what to do at the time, at the moment, okay, let's stay here. Let me find a reason.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and then from that time, I just start to keep thinking, try to brainwash myself. This is the country I chose, and this is my home country, my second home, and I will never blame for what I chose. This is the best place I ever had, and I will try my best, whatever it takes, like that. And
wow, that is quite a story actually. Like usually our guests answer in 3-4 like sentences saying oh, I was in that country, and I wanted to work here. But then the story that behind you staying here and being a role model to the younger generation of the Korean public is amazing. Like this is a story should be put out there.
Yeah, I literally, it's my second home. Now it's just, you can call. I always say to them, it's my home. Why are you here? Because it's my home. Whether I hate or not, there is your home that you always stay.
And also, you mentioned that you were here when you were first time when you were 11. So that's when you were a teenager.
Yeah.
Where you get your the attitudes and all emotions right now you have are evolving, right? Changing into who you are right now.
Yeah.
And then you got it from here. So that is, I would say you're a Mongolian though.
Yeah. People call me you're like half Mongolian. Actually, you are. Some people say you are more Mongolian than me. So what is that supposed to mean? They explain. I don't know. We can't explain, but you are just, you have that Mongolian part.
Yes.
So, okay.
Yeah. There are expats. Also on our podcast, we had another guy that we call him do you know that you're Mongolian, right? Because their hearts are here. Yeah. And then most of our guests are here, and then some of them are obviously married to a Mongolian partner, and then some of them own a business here. Some of them just are connected. And then one of them is you. And then I also admire your father, though. And then, because you are our first Asian guest on our podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then
it's my honor.
Yeah. What I know is we are we Asians have similarities.
Yeah. More connected in a way, right?
Yeah, in a way. Yeah, and then how our parents were, because we were not raised by a soft hand for sure. There our parents were try to obviously there were rough times, schooling us, you shouldn't do this and stuff. Apart from that, right? It seemed our parents went through all these revolutions. I mean, going through this changes of time. Even Korea, in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
It was a rough time. In Mongolia in the 90s, when the parties started changing, it became democratic and everything. It was a huge change. And then all these were an experience of our parents. And then those people raised us. So I think you and I especially, we would have similar attitudes towards the society and the people and the public and communicating to other people, of course. And then another thing that I wanted to ask is English language. English language is a second language for you and me both. So what made you to learn English?
Yeah, well,
and what was the advantage, of course?
Yeah, this is the advantage, We understood, we become friends easily than others because, it's one of the strongest worldwide communication tools. The language and English, that's something that we always accept, right? So, I think that was something mandatory for me. I think it's not because I chose to learn. It's something maybe from the young age, it just came to me like, okay, something that I had to learn, must learn, especially in order to survive and learn, live in foreign country, Mongolia. Because before Mongolia, I moved a lot, like China and America, like blah blah, like so. I just following my parents. I was just like, everywhere,
exploring the world, right?
So English was just like my the must-have, like a language that I had in order to live. So I think that's why. And then when I firstly came here, I did homeschooling,
Here,
and I had a small community here, and where there were like the family from Germany, family from Philippines, Canada, America, and Australia, and also there are Mongolian family as well. So we just gathered together and we watch a video, like the educational video and context, and then we study. I remember we studied together, and of course it was everything written in English. So I think that's where I start to like actively learn and study English, and that's where I am.
And obviously, one of the advantages of having in a community like homeschooling was you had these different country kids. So it gives you an opportunity to use it.
Yeah.
And that is, for me, like when people ask me, like, what is the key to learn English? I'm like, use it.
Yeah, you got to use it.
It's very easy. It's just use it. Whatever you know, use it.
Yeah, you got to use it out.
You don't need to like keep it to yourself. And then even for us, right? Like sometimes if we don't use the language, the words are forgotten. It just doesn't come in. I'm like, I know it's there, but it's not coming in because we're not using it. Okay, so that's that. And then other than that, we have, so you're working in an education sector. What else do you do? I know you model. I know you played on a movie. I know you sing. Were you in competitions before?
Oh yeah, like back to like I think it was 2013. So I had an opportunity when I was in university, and the people suggested me to go for this competition called Universe Best Song.
Oh yeah, the UBS.
Yeah, it was like I think it was the famous one at the time.
Yes, there's no voice, nothing.
And then, all right, let me do it because I like at the time still I played guitar. I like it's like I'm semi-professional actually.
Oh,
when it comes to guitar.
Oh, really?
Because I almost get into the Berkeley in US because I passed by its audition.
The test. Oh, wow, that is.
Yeah, so people ask me, okay, why don't you just go for it? You love singing, and I was like, okay, let's go, let's do it for fun, At least it can be a good experience.
Good experience, right?
And then I tried it, and then I became top. I got into the top 10. I think it was like a first ever as a foreigner to be in the top 10. Is it top 5? Yes.
Were there any foreigners before? Were there any foreigners before on the show? I think you were one of the first.
Yeah, I think I was the one. I heard that there was one American or one, but they really couldn't make it up to the main stage. That was one of them, and then I was also lucky enough to get the award called, I don't know, how do you say? I think I got, I remember I got those award.
The finalist.
Yeah, the finalist, and also middle of the competition, I got also first award for the covering of the Beatles and some song competitions. So I had a really good memory. And then I think that competition means a lot to me because that's where I really changed my mind about Mongolia. And
got inspired.
Yeah. And then I feel so much loved by people and by my fans. So I called. Because at the time it was...
Yeah, you were popular, I remember.
At the time, like, even though I just go out, the taxi stopped, the car stopped, and hey, I know the Korean dude, just come in. And I really...
started noticing you.
Yeah. I know you play guitar, and then I saw you that you sing Mongolian so well. So keep it up, dude. And then I was like, I will give you free ride. Don't worry like this.
Oh, so you even got if you got a free ride, then you surely had a fan. Yeah.
Yeah. So
None other stranger.
yeah, it was
would
very
do it.
flattered, and then I believe I got so much love, and then I was very encouraged, and then my heart since then fully open to Mongolia. And then those experience, helped me to remove all these barriers, inside of me. So since then, like for me now, I kind of don't want to classify people by its origin, where they from. Hey, the Canadians are like this, or Mongolian, like Koreans like this. I don't want to define by its country name because I believe it's a person. It always depends on the person and just individual, who they are and who they were and what they have been doing from their like childhood, right? So like rather than I say, okay, Mongolian is like this, the Koreans are like that, I always
Take them
prefer
as a
to-
human.
Yeah, I always prefer to go by their individual name or the organization, or if it's really statistically proved or researched. Yeah, at that time, Koreans generally prefer to do like this, have a culture or tendency to be like this, like that. Because for me, like we are from different nation, country, but I'm sure that as a human being, we all have the same heart and same function. We're all human being, and then I want to respect that as a human being firstly, and then whenever I make friends and whenever we do business work, I try not to see them as where they're from, but more like who they are as a human being.
So you've been like you didn't go to Canada for sure, and then like where did you get educated? Like in the university, I mean, like where did you get your degree?
For the bachelor, I studied in America for half years, and I came back. By the time the university has founded what my father and their partners has started. It's called MIU.
MIU, yes, I know MIU.
And
I think
then-
most of them boys know.
Yeah. By now, right? And it's known for they're teaching fully in English. So I came. That's since I decided to stay here. So I finished the school there, and then I went back to Canada for a while, and I studied for further for the English
start-
education.
oh, okay.
So I got the TEFL certificate. The TEFL means teaching English as a foreign language. It stands for like that.
I never actually knew what I gave TOEFL before, but then I never knew the full name of it.
There is a TOEFL, and that's the English proficiency test.
Oh, okay.
Right? And TEFL is more like certificate for the teachers.
Oh, I see.
It certifies you as a teacher to teach English to foreign students.
Oh, okay. So your bachelor is that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so
I actually never knew. We've been friends for a while, but never knew about that.
because you don't want to learn, you don't have to learn English from me. Then.
No, but like I could have learned my friend.
I cannot just say, "Hey, I'm English teacher. I got the TEFL certificate."
Yeah. Do you know what I graduated? My
No,
first-
okay. Now let me listen.
Yeah. I have international journalist. The second one is IT engineer in India.
In India.
Yeah.
That's where you learn English.
No,
Literally. No?
I learned English in Mongolia, even in Irnut City, not here in UP.
Yeah, I mean, in general, what I found out here, the amazing thing is the people here, they are very talented in learning languages. They're very fast. They're very gifted, I think. But I try to figure out the reason behind was they don't really hesitate to try out. Like especially mostly in Korea, the students are very hesitate to speak English to their friends and to the public because they're afraid of making mistake.
Oh.
And the teacher used to point it a lot. especially when it comes to grammar, the grammar mistake, they put too much emphasis on that. So like when it comes to he, for the verb, you have to put s behind. Don't make mistake. It's such a shameful things if you do like this. So every time students go and had a time to speak, they don't really dare to try because they're they're worrying if they get judged by that. Oh, you do mistake. You're not really good at English, but actually, that's not right.
That's not the case for sure.
In order to learn and improve, you got to speak it out. And you got to accept that. Okay, I'm the learner, and then now I'm learning, so I'm free, and I have to try and learn by mistake, and then try and then make it. Your brain should be like automatized. Get used to speaking English.
Yes.
Yeah. So
at the end, it just turns out to be a flow. Yeah. And then one thing that I learned when I was a kid, obviously my mom gave me to a private school, so it was English teaching school when I was in 5th grade, because in our age, like 5th grade was the first time ever, okay, like in my age, so first time ever they started teaching English. I was one of the first students, because before that it was only Russian. And from 5th grade of our age, it's the year of 2000, I think 2000. And then from that year, they started teaching English language. They put it in the program. And then my mom was like, let's not go to public school. I want you to go to a private school. Because I had some, experiences already from these channels, right? Like Cartoon Networks and everything. Most of the kids in Mongolia would say, like, oh, I learned English from Cartoon Network. Because we never had YouTube and everything, but these influenced us. And then I took a class there for only 1 year, because our first teachers were Americans. That's why I got the American accent. And then 4 teachers were Americans, and all of them left. And then my mom asked me, would you like to continue? I'm like, no. I would just go to a public school. When I went to a public school, I was very lucky. There was an American teacher there. Oh, I was like, my God, I'm very lucky. And then when I took the class and everything, I was way further than the students who were studying there. Because in that private school, all of our classes were 45 minutes, but English were two credits, which means 3 hours. Only English language would teach in 3 hours. And then that's how I started. And then I had an opportunity to use the words that I'm learning with the teacher who was at the public school, because he lived near to my apartment. And that's the only thing I learned from them was even though I have mistakes when I talk, they would correct it. They are not ashamed of me. They would say you can say it like this. They correct it. And then in English, the one thing I found out was when they ask the question that I wanted to ask, to confirm that is actually the right one. And I should be very concentrate on that one, and then learn that, then you're ready to go. If I say where should I pen get? And then the guy will say, you mean where should you get a pen? And then that's the word I should learn. Yeah, and I learned that was the key. And then I understood, even if it's wrong, let's use it. I think that was an experience for me.
Yeah. So in order to improve the language, at least, there are many ways to improve language. And in the language sector, there are there are 4 sectors: academic language, social language, and in a certain area language that you're typically involved in. Those kind of language sector, you have to be exposed to each section. So if you're just be into the test English section, then you will be only good at in test.
Grammars.
The grammars and all this. That's what Koreans good at, They're only good at in general, they're good at test. But when it comes to practical English, social English, be friend, go mingle, and just be friend. And they couldn't even, I got so many examples, they couldn't even speak even one word. Only what they can say was, hey, how are you?
But then they do understand what you say.
They understand everything,
They can't reply
but
back.
yeah, it's like, yeah, so that's the thing, So yeah, guys, like, just be open to get any feedback, and in order to learn foreign language, not only English but also Korean, yeah, be more open and be ready to just try it out. And just, I always tell them, if you want to like improve, just when you see me, try Korean. I never judge you, because you are a student, you are there to learn. Please, yeah, like that. Even this conversation, we are making hundreds of grammatical mistake here,
Yes.
but still, like,
We'll communicate.
yeah, we understand each other.
Yeah.
That's the primary goal. Like, that's the meaning of learning language, right?
To communicate.
Yes, yeah, to communicate. Of course, if you are the other purpose, right? If you are like, when it comes to, for me, but I'm an English teacher, right?
Yes.
I should not be really
Making mistakes.
mistake. So for the grammar section, for the writing, I'm very strict. For the grammar purpose, and when it comes to writing, I check everything thoroughly. But when it comes to just communication and speaking, of course, even me, I also do many mistakes. But time to time, I think the main reason, I think the most important thing is we need to see the value. I mean, the uses why we speak English is mostly, I think, it's for communication. So yeah, I really want to say to the English learner or foreign language learners to just put down some little pressure and burden, and the shame the people about the things that you worry about. There's nothing to worry about, and just go. And if you have any chance to speak it out and try English or Korean foreign language, please do. Never late.
It's never too late.
Yes.
That should be the ending quote. Okay, so we talked about the education business and everything for a while, and then there are things that I know about you. You told me
That's
before
scary.
the podcast, like, don't ask that. So I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So another thing that I know, like, I think it was like 2-3 years ago, or 3-4 years ago, you got a medal. So I wouldn't, like, I would like to share that to the viewers. What is a medal that you get it from? It was the Seoul City medal. I think.
From the embassy,
Yeah.
from the Korean embassy. Yeah, it was very.
And then I heard that you were gonna have to share why that medal is important. Okay.
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 Yeah, that means a lot to me too. I was very lucky to have those medal. That medal. It's the medal. The reason I got the medal was to.
What's the medal called?
I don't know in English. It's sort of. It's just like a medal from the Korean government. Yeah, it's it's medal. It's like a medal of
Promoting the culture.
yeah, promoting culture,
Being a good citizen.
as a Korean, to be the good model for, and then to improve and to promote the image of Korean in Mongolia as one of the citizens of Korea. And then we encourage you, and we are very appreciated that you're part of Korean, and yeah, like that. And then that medal means really a lot, because it's very rare, not like everyone, no one can get the medal.
That's what I heard. So, and also I heard that there is a possibility between these accepted people, the people who accepted this medal, there is a possibility that they might not go to the army.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I heard, and also from the Olympics and those who got those medal. Maybe it will be. I'm not sure clearly about is it the same medal or not. But if they get the gold medal, they have a privilege to not to go to army. We don't say it's privilege, but they are just encouraged to be more focus on what they're doing,
Because they're good at it.
Yeah, they're good at it. Actually, eventually connects to the Korean promotions, right?
Mm.
Because they're actually playing soccer and basketball, all these sports.
Because these are like age.
Yeah, and it will influence on
Yes.
Korean about the country Korea as well. So we just think encourage them to focus and to encourage them to work on that field more as a promoter of Korea, like that.
So, in your opinion, what do you think made you to take this medal? Which work, part of your work, made you to take this medal?
Yeah, I think I can say that now. I think, but at that time, I really didn't know the work that I did and all this. I sing, right, and then after I participated this program, Universe Song, I got so many opportunity to work with Mongolian artists in event and show, and that's where I get also all network and friends, also you, Baggy, right? So from that side, whenever there's a cultural event from organized by embassy or Ulaanbaatar City Hall, I was lucky to serve as a bridge between Mongolia and Korea. So I think that's why people see me. They see me. This guy.
This guy.
Yeah, can be the good promoter in Mongolia. So I think that's why I got the medal. And not yet. I never satisfied, and I never think that I'm enough. Yeah, I think they gave me as encouragement, to
do more,
to get for me to be motivated more, and so that's where I'm doing. And since then, it is motivate me. It has encouraged me a lot. So yeah, personally, I see myself as serving as a bridge between these two countries. So. Because it's my second home. Mongolia is my second home. I really want whoever visit Mongolia, especially Koreans, I want to introduce and I want to show them the beauty of Mongolia, the hidden beauty of Mongolia, because it's still many of Korean
not explored yet.
Yeah, it's not explored. They don't know about Mongolia still. Now it's getting,
because all these shows,
but it's just part of them. Yes, I really want to say just part of it. So I want to be I want to promote more. I want to show them more about Mongolia and about people here.
So that is great. All these works that you've been doing, and I know one of the events that you've organized, which is called Korean Week, right?
Yeah,
I was on one of them hosting. I think.
That's where we get to know actually.
Get to know each other, yeah. And then this event was first organized in 2018 or 17?
Yeah, I think it was there. I mean, they have been,
but not huge as
not like a very official. Yeah, I think since 2018. They made it more official and
started doing outdoor,
bigger.
right?
Yeah.
And then that's where we met. And then and these events do these cultural exchanges, right?
Yeah.
They bring Korean artists and have some Mongolian artists go there. What about the one thing that I know is you have been always connected to all these entertainment people who's coming from Korea to Mongolia, like TVs, channels, shows, actors, singers, and everything. But I wanted to know about, were there any cases that you took Mongolian, culture and art side to Korea?
To Korea.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually where I want to try. And where I want to do it near in the future. Like I'm trying to connect with some possible organization and big company in Korea, like Kakao.
Oh,
Kakao. It's one of the biggest company in Korea and entertainment field as well. And then we want to do, because they all used to come to Mongolia, right? When it comes to culture festival. Also, the artists from Mongolia, every year they go to Korea.
Yes.
right? For their performing and for their like UB comedy, my friends and my artists. Like not my artists, my friends, but they're all yeah, they all go there and they love to sing there because also there are many Mongolian live there, right? But I wanna.
But will those people go to Korea to perform to the local community?
Yeah.
To Mongolian community.
Yeah, so that's what I want to do. I want that my vision is I want Korean and the world to know about the artists in Mongolia, the Mongolian artists, because they are awesome. They're great.
It seems like you have a bunch of people in mind, like
they're literally awesome. Not just because I live in Mongolia. They're qualified, to be shine. Not only in Mongolia. I mean, there's nothing wrong only in Mongolia, but I wanna, that's my passion. I want Korean at least to know them. There's a lot of beautiful song, right? And then there's a lot of like a band Who, right?
Yes,
Who,
exactly.
Like that's the good case.
Yeah, they became popular on their own language.
Their own language. That's what I mean. So they're more like M-pop, right? So that's where I also learned the song, and I used to sing in Mongolian song. I still do, like sing in Mongolian. So that's why I try to connect not only just for local people in Korea, but I want to connect and then introduce the artists and actors to like a Korean main field. So that's actually what I'm actually preparing. So firstly, but we need some time.
Yeah, that is for sure, because you need to foresee the future for this. Because this is going to take a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of work.
Definitely, because it's not just about the artist, but it's also a matter of system. When it comes to system, there is a like some sort of step that must be taken, right? And then in order to work, all these systems and documentation should be agreed between, because it's an international project.
Exactly.
And then so far, from Mongolian side, they have less experienced actually working internationally with the main field, right?
Yes,
to the biggest company. So they have a different standard. They totally have a different standard, different contract, different agreements.
Very strict ones, of course.
Yet we are not really used to that. So also me in the between as a bridge, my job is like that to in order to know and in order to know between the both culture and both expectation and standards, and to communicate well, able to make them to communicate well, and to make it work.
And then create another standard. Maybe,
it's not easy, really. I tell you, bringing like a KBS, one of the biggest broadcasting system, like a station from Korea. Recently, actually, they came. And we had a little small shooting here.
Okay.
With the 200 horses.
Oh, wow.
It was like a riding scene.
200 horses is not a small shooting, though.
Mongolia maybe, but for Korean, it's a very huge project because in Korea, it's not possible at all to have 200 horses out there in that small country, small landed, and it's impossible. You never imagine. But in order to make a success, it's just not only, hey, we have a horses in Mongolia, just come and shoot it. It's not going to work like that.
It's not going to work.
There's so many process and agreements, documentation should be made. And then
the filming association, like license and everything.
And then as me in between, I work really hard to make them to have a good communication in between. And then I'm very happy and satisfied that everything was successfully ended and finished, and they were very satisfied.
Oh, that is great. That is a good news.
And then what I just told them is, did you satisfy and did you like, how do you like about Mongolia? And they were like, oh my gosh, I never knew that Mongolia is such this country. I loved it. I love its food and culture and people, and I want to come back. I think I don't know if I can say or not this. I'm very, because they are, when it comes to the big land, shooting and horse riding, they used to go to China a lot. But now they
found out.
yeah, they found the hidden the country Mongolia, and then they think I think the KBS we will come back again. I don't think we don't need to go to China anymore. I see the potential of Mongolia. Yeah, so I was like,
Were there a possibility for them to meet? I think you also work with the Ministry of Culture, right? So were there an opportunity for them to meet the minister
like
or someone from the Ministry of Culture
in Korea?
in Mongolia? The KBS guys. Did they meet our Minister of Culture?
Oh yeah, not the minister directly, because at that time we didn't set up the meeting. We didn't have enough time. But definitely we met the mayor, the city Ulaanbaatar city mayor, and then we also met the Korean ambassador. And then just wanna show, and we want to make sure. And thankfully, also Ulaanbaatar, the mayor said that we will support and whatever we can.
That was the previous mayor, was it?
Yeah. So it's kind of
no, this kind of like international thing will continue for sure. Okay, so that's that. Another thing. All these, I've known that you've been trying to help out the Mongolian cinema community to have their movies on Korean IPTVs with a Korean subtitle or a dub, maybe, right?
Yeah, but actually, yeah, I was involved, and then I was at that time, the first time I was involved as more like a supporter. Not really mainly involved. There were two companies from Korea and Mongolian side, and then I came as more like translating the movies and then give it to them.
So you had the production side, probably.
More like that side, and then eventually from Mongolian side, they want me to be involved more because for the better communication
and because you're here also.
Yeah, and I was also here, so it successfully actually introduced the Korean major market as well. It is because it requires a lot of process, as I told you.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not just translation is done and then go, and then please upload it. It's not like you go to, or is it Mobicom or Skytel or Unitel? Hey, here's my products and content. Please upload it on, right? It's not like that, right? So
we're talking about a different country, and governments.
So it took a lot of time and also money, but eventually we did. And then it's actually, you can still find it in Korean IPTV.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Those 10, I remember it was 10 movies.
So if you don't mind, could you name 2-3 movies?
It was one.
So to let the viewers know.
Jurukni Healing.
Oh, Jurukni Healing is there, from Fantastic Production.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jurukni Healing was there. And then there are more.
That's an amazing movie.
There was like a movie called One Night.
Okay.
It's like a comedy.
Yeah, I know.
Comedy.
Yeah.
And also I heard there are Bruce.
Bruce Boss?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, Boss of Bruce.
Yeah, Boss of Bruce. Yeah, and then there is called Altang Unduk, Golden Egg.
Yeah, Golden Egg.
Yeah. But telling you the fact, it didn't, as I remember, it didn't go well promoted in Korea because both sides didn't really invest it for the marketing side. Even though Korea,
there wasn't the budget there.
And even though the Korean has a big potential, the market, right? Because but at the same time, it cost a lot.
Already
to promote.
No,
to promote the contents in the movie, it costs like 10 times than
here.
I think they have missed. They couldn't really think about that, so they didn't really promote it well. But still, it's there, and then I just keep telling them, okay, I think if you start to promote that, the people will watch, and then. But one thing for sure is we opened the route We opened
Yes,
the route.
you did.
Yeah, we opened the major route.
You showed them that there is
Yeah.
an opportunity.
Yeah. So if anyone really interested and has a heart to put their movies and contents, really they can. They can really come and talk to me. I can really help with that. I can give you the advice and where to do it. But I will this time. I can more like openly and freely, clearly tell what you need to be prepared. And not only just the documents, also financial way, this and that. Because I'm not just here to talk and introduce the bullshit, something that never happens, right? Because I really want to give them I really want to help them first. I really want Mongolia movie to be introduced in Korean market. I really want them to be successful. So in that case, though I'm not now actively involved with that, but if anyone has a heart to try in Korean IPTV, definitely I can help with that. I can help them.
You heard it. You heard it.
Yes.
I recorded it.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. And then obviously you have the know-hows that how it worked.
Yeah.
It should have been an amazing experience for you to know, what it works like. Even though, right, even though I'm here, I wouldn't know, how the IPTV thing works because I'm not in that business. Even probably for you, it was the same, and then you learned the same time when it goes, right?
Yeah.
When the project was going. So it is it should be a good experience to share with them.
Because let's see, you will know, you also know about this, because you speak in English, it doesn't mean that you can be a good translator.
Exactly.
Translating, it
Is a
requires
different-
another
Yes.
energy and another section. You need to be trained, and especially translating the movie is a whole lot different story.
Yeah.
Translating documents, totally different, because in order to translate the movie, the translator needs to know their culture, emotions, the background,
mentality,
the context behind all these things, so that they're able to translation indirectly, right? There are so many, especially in the movie, there's so many expression and conversation where it cannot be translated indirectly.
Exactly.
So the translator also should be proved and really, really professional in that section. So what we had a 3 inspection stage. First one by Mongolian translator, that we check by its another translator. The final stage was Korean. So they see whether it has flows and all this, whether it sounds natural, right? So yeah, it took those kind of detailed stage, and then we submitted to the film council in Korea, and then it took another 2 weeks, and if it's failed, we need to work on again.
Yeah, of course. But it's there to use this opportunity, because it's already placed, right? So it's a good thing. Okay, so as we were talking about artists and movies and stuff, have you seen a Mongolian movie before?
Of course.
So what was your favorite movie?
Favorite one.
And then how did you understand the movie is the question also. You have a bit of Mongolian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you sing in Mongolian language. I've heard you sing Mr. Bolt's song.
Yeah, that's my favorite song still now. Right?
Yeah, probably you'll sing at the end of the podcast.
I need to have guitar. Do you have guitar?
No, I have instrumental.
Oh,
I can play it here.
Oh, you're so prepared.
Yes. I have Bluetooth connection. I'll play it here. You sing.
Oh, okay. Why not?
Yeah, why not? You will be the first.
Yeah, I love to sing every time,
And then your favorite movie?
My favorite movie. I think.
You might not have seen many, but out of the movies that you've seen, of course.
I think Durukni Hilin.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah, because of.
You have to, right?
I have to. Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, then of Durukni Hilin, you probably seen it in Korean language then.
Yeah, as I'm translating, I could know the meaning and everything. So yeah, it was very meaningful and was very impressed.
That is a different century, movie, and then like, have you ever like, thought that there was an age in Mongolia like in that, on that movie? Have you ever expected
No,
before?
no, never. But these days, it just helped me. Now I'm thinking more and more because of this international shooting. And now the KBS, just what I did was also about the historical movie. It's not, yeah, it's more like a Korea and Kidan
Mm.
war.
Oh, war.
So
Okay.
Kidan we consider is one part of Mongolia section.
Yeah, ancestor kind of a thing.
And then we try to find
That's
out the
like
historical
way-
fact. Yeah, so it's like a way ago, and then before the 13th century even. So we try to see the like the theologist, like historical archaeologist,
Oh yeah.
maybe, and then we studied, and it is connect to Mongolia. Actually, there is a history
proven-
like proven,
yeah.
the text and the books, and that's how we also started here, and then we made all the get, the ancient get
Oh yes.
for Kidan. And then we made all this armor set. Maybe I will show you all these pictures
Oh,
that
you
we have
should.
done.
You should send it to me so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can place it on
Oh,
the
yeah.
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it will be published. It will be soon, November 11th.
Oh, it's very near then.
Yeah, in KBS, the main channel, the main time, 9 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
KBS should thank to me because I'm actually
Promoting
promoting now for free.
for free. Okay, that is good. KBS is one of the most popular channel on like K drama, is it?
Yeah, KBS. There are three,
Major.
actually four now. KBS, MBC, SBS, and now the JTBC is coming up. JTBC is also very popular in Korea.
So these like Korean drama movies are made by the channels itself,
No, it depends.
or is it done by other studios and the channels?
It always depends. It's if there is another investor comes up and please make this product for us, then they do. And time to time, every year, of course, they make their own stuff by themselves. But for this time, this is like a 50 years of anniversary of KBS making
really?
this historical drama series. So they are producing themselves right now. And they have a pretty big
50 years. Wow, that's
they have a pretty big budget. For this drama, they it's Arontao Terubum 1. Oh my god! I think it's more than that.
Is it okay for you to share it? Like,
Yeah, because it will be on the news anyway.
아름다운 딜품 원.
Arontao Terubum 1, so it's going to
like
be like
15
Teon Terubum 2.
15 billion won.
50
Okay,
billion.
that is insane amount of money for sure. All right, even my like ear got. Just kidding. All right, so that is the movie side. Okay, if I asked you, right? So Zurkni congratulations, fantastic production. You were one on the best movie award from John. So, favorite three singers from Mongolia. Can be rapper or anything.
Of
three
course,
artists.
Bold, because that's the song that I learned firstly was from the Bold Sing song, and
A true star.
True Star. And I like A Sound, and I played with A Sound actually, because remember
really?
I told you I play guitar,
Yes.
so I met Chojo first time, and then we just talked
Chojo
about
is an amazing artist.
yeah, I really respect the art side,
the
way he
enthusiasm,
makes singing
like-
and songs and feeling all this. Yeah, I really love that vibes also. So, and I also love to play as a band, like live music. So when I firstly listened to A Sound music, it was amazing. And also the leader Timolin.
Yeah, Timothy.
He's also amazing singer. Vocal has amazing, very soft, and he also sings in English as well.
English, yes.
So that catched me, and they caught me, and then they also suggested me to play in a band in the concert together. And then also I had an opportunity, a chance to play with them.
Oh wow! On stage?
Yeah, on stage.
Oh wow! That is.
There will be a picture. Okay, please put on the picture.
It's like you can press the button above. I'm like, no, there's no button here.
Yeah, so A sound, bold. Yeah, I Chojo. Now she's also doing as a solo too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Timulin is making an album. Have you heard about it?
Timolin?
100% English.
Oh yeah. Oh really?
Yes.
These days?
This is a spoiler. Okay, nobody knew actually.
Oh, right now it's coming.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So he's waiting. The songs are ready.
Of course,
Just need the production.
It will,
it's not a small amount of money comes to production.
It will be awesome, I'm sure. It will be very nice.
I've heard all
No
the songs.
doubt.
It's pretty amazing.
Really?
Yeah, 100% English.
Yeah, it should be.
Somewhere around 10, 11 songs.
Yeah, with his voice and vibes, I'm sure that he did well, and no doubt.
Yeah.
And yeah, these days the young artists coming up, great artists, right? Has moved. Yeah, I heard also song of AMC.
AMC.
And Dorit.
Doit.
Doit, yeah.
Yeah.
Doit, yeah. I also know him in person, and yeah, his song is great also.
Yeah, when you said Doit, it sounded like very old.
Doit, yeah, that's his name, right?
Yeah, Doit, and I was like, oh, which uncle is that?
Yeah, Doit, and yeah.
So that's the three artists that That's great. Doit is actually a rapper, a hip hop artist. I mean. And then A Sound is a live music, more of an indie rock band. And the first one is Mr. Bold. Mr. Bold is founder of M-pop, Mongol pop. So he's a true star in Mongolia. If there's any expats or foreigners watching this, try listening all these artists. And A Sound would be preferred because they have English songs. Right.
Yeah, and then I'm very open, and now I'm listening to Mongolian song and more. From the young artists, their music is great actually. And there's nothing wrong to introduce to Korea. And really, if I can be any help, if you guys if you're interested in to introduce a song to Korea, yes, I can be the bridge between that. And then
help Timulin. He wants to go abroad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Abroad.
Yes, that's why he makes. Why do you think he makes 100% English song?
Yeah, just give me a call, bro. What do you mean?
What are you waiting for? All right. So you've lived here since age of 11. So it's been around more than 20 years for sure.
Yeah.
Or you're younger. I'm kidding. And then
I was back and forth in between America and Korea, but yeah, in total, since then, you can say that I've been here.
For as I know, for the past 10 years you've been here.
Yeah, for the past 10 years, yeah, 7 almost.
Maybe you left for 2-3 months, but that doesn't count.
1 year when I was in Canada. Yeah.
And then I wanted to ask you, to share the funniest moment that you had in Mongolia.
Funniest moment
that you would how did this happen? It was very funny that you laughed out loud.
I can't tell you the most funniest. It's a secret, but
okay, it's PG-13.
It's just one of the cultural things, when I firstly came, when you actually step someone's feet, you do
shake hands, right?
You shake hands, the means of sorry, right? And then when I firstly came to the airport, it was actually second time when I came to when I landed here, and then I was trying to go out of the airport, and I accidentally stepped someone's feet. It was like a big dude.
Okay.
Then at the time I didn't know about this. How do you say that? This manner, right? And then I just ignored and just tried to go, and then that big dude just, hey. It was
what up?
I don't know. I didn't remember what he said.
Basically he's like, aren't you gonna do something?
Yeah. And then I was like, what? And then he firstly give the hands to me like this, and then I was like, okay. And then I did this.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just went.
But then
He
he-
seemed satisfied by himself, and he
uh-huh.
just went. Because I didn't even say sorry to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, I learned
Mm-hmm.
it was the
What's the
one
meaning of
the
this, right?
cultural things or manner things in Mongolia that I should learn and must know.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like after 1 or 2 years, I got used to it. Every time I accidentally step on, I just always
Mm-hmm.
keep hands first, and I said "ochlare,"
Mhm.
right? And then it just got used to it, my body, and then my brain and everything just automatized, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I remember, guess what? I went to Korea.
Okay.
Yes. And then I was in the subway, in the train.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the train, and then of course, I accidentally step on the lady's feet,
Uh-huh.
and then I automatically, naturally,
Uh-huh.
give a hand. And she was like,
What?
"Yeah." She just see me as like a very weird way. And
Yeah.
she didn't even say. I tried to hold the hands to her. I was like, and then
You realized-
I even grabbed her hands.
Oh, okay.
And she was like very surprised, and I just realized it's not
That it's a
Mongolian.
habit in
Yeah.
already.
We never in Korea we never do that, right?
Mm.
They're even more sensitive if we touch.
Yeah, interact with them, right?
Interact with them. So we just supposed to say sorry. That's it. But
Mm-hmm.
I try to, for her side, I try to do something. I try to have more intention behind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You look like a pervert.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh God, like
Small
that is.
story.
Yeah. That is a word of a person who lived long enough to make it an habit. That is for sure. That is why your friends, they will call you, you're half Mongolian.
Yeah.
And you proved it now. So is there any your favorite word in Mongolian word? So we had on through all this podcast, we had some of them had funny words. We had yakshte, we had hot.
Yakshte.
Yeah. We had Hutz from Greg. We had Jana, our previous guest from Slovakia. She was our first female guest on our podcast. And Jana, because her name is written Jana, but which is called Jana, it was her favorite word to explain her name. You know Jana? Yes. Shorter. That's my name. And then, these words that you would say, you always found it funny and you would always intend to use
Something fun. Well, should I have to pick one of them?
No, of course not. No, I mean, what is your own? You can be the same word.
Yeah, like Yana. I love that word too. Yana,
really?
Yana.
Oh
Every
my
time
God,
I use Yana, Yana. I love yakshte too. I think recently I think I used word chikshik. Chikshik, right? Yeah, but I like also the words nets mean, ant mean,
Oh, yeah.
head.
Buddy.
Yeah, buddy, like head. I think the head, the word sounds really soft and very pure, especially to Korean, it sounds very nice. Head.
Really?
Hera, head. Also, even there's a Korean product called Hera.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's not from actually
Mongolian word,
words,
yeah.
but Hera, there is the very luxury brand.
Really?
Yeah, it's named Hera.
So Hera means love, actually. And then the chikshik is as if.
Yes.
It's a word as if.
Chikshik.
Yeah, because we have English-speaking viewers, we have to explain the Mongolian words.
It's pretty hard to explain what chikshik.
It's as if.
As if.
Yeah, as if, kind of a thing.
As if.
Yeah, you would say, I saw a crocodile. Chikshik. Yeah, as if. Kind
That's a very nice way of.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
very,
chikshik is not that rude. It's not that rude. As if it's not.
But that sounds
polite
so,
too.
that sounds very official though.
Yeah. Yeah. But in the Mongolian language, team. It's basically a full word that they shortened into chik sound, right? You would usually like use it in these letters. You would use it in a full sentence, but then they cut out only the sounds and then created this word chik. So this is a Gen Z word.
Yeah.
And we even picked it out in the we use, right?
Yeah, I'm sure that, especially for foreigners, I'm sure that you will be exposed to so many cases that you could use actually this word.
Yeah.
Should we say it's a expression?
Yeah, it's
Or
an
it's a
expression.
word?
Yes. A word.
A
Yeah,
word.
it is a word. Yeah. Expression of word. I'm just all right. Trying to figure out like I'm a Mongolian and I'm trying to figure out the word with John. So we are coming to an end to of our podcast, and then, but not yet. I have some questions of like how hard it is for you, like like for expats. I mean, to run a business here in Mongolia. Like what was the hard part?
Well, obviously, it's not the country that I was born. It's not the country where I was raised from the baby, right? And then, as a citizen-wise, as a documentation-wise, I'm not local here, right? Even though I'm half Mongolian now, right? Of course, there are many challenges still going on because I'll say there are many. For the system-wise, yet Mongolia is now getting there. But system-wise, I would say there needs to be more setup for welcoming and for the business, for the foreign investment, and for the foreign businessman, for the foreign business to work with. There must be the more system and in the business-wise, there must be the there must be the more advanced system and how can I say?
Supporting all these investors, right?
Yeah, because I really see the intention of intention to, because I, as the one of the person I live in Mongolia, also Korean also used to be the same. In the 1990s, they used to closed a lot from the foreign investment because they think that is the one way to save their culture. Because they were afraid of losing their own culture, actually. But actually, it turns out not, right? As they also, Korea, when they open the foreign investment and foreign business activity more and more, as they open and welcome the more, as they accept more, there are more people who has a heart for their own country, and there are more people get challenged and motivated by just seeing them working, how they work in their country and how they're different, and they were motivated and they learn, and they start to have their own vision. Okay, as a Mongolian, as a Korean, I want to have my own this and that I want to build this Korean brand, not from America, not from Japan, but our own brand. Yeah, that's how it started. When Starbucks came, he was like amazing, right? Oh, Starbucks! So that's what we've been waiting for. And since Starbucks came, after a few years, there were Tom and Tom's, Cafe Bene, like so many big brands are set up. But it was all motivated from there. So, I think also same way too. I'm sure that I'm sure that there is a reason why, but I'm sure that system and everything will be changed and it will be better day by day, step by step. Of course, it will take time, but, I think, we can now, Mongolia, I think we can accept those foreign investment and those flows. Then I'm sure, because I believe there are people who loves its country the most. And there are people who has a vision for Mongolia to be one of the better country in the future, and they will come up and they will be together and they will set up and they will give the better solution for Mongolia and for its city and for their people. So I think we should welcome them, and we should welcome and see and learn first, and then we should accept that the fact that
They're like step forward already.
yeah, but we all know that it's not we're not saying that Mongolia is blah blah blah. But if there's we have to accept the fact, and within that fact we need to find a solution together. And then I'm sure Mongolia has potential, and these people here we have a potential to make it better world and better society and better country. And then also I want to be the part of him.
Yeah, and then like, well, one thing that is for sure to me need to be made is that this adjustment for this investment and Mongolian community to understand the government should make this investment adjustments to secure the investors and then
that's
like
true.
secure the public also. The publicity needs to also understand that like foreign investment is not a bad thing. We've been like there are people like people who went abroad and then came in, and like repats, right? Repats, they understand that the power of investment, foreign investments, but then there are few. That's why it could not be like there are like more publicity out there, which is not so much educated about what foreign investment means, and then these publicities should be made, these shows or whatever, like these journalists should work on this, like why we need this, like explain
That's
them
really
in
true.
our own language, and then they're not here to steal your culture or you erase your culture, tradition or anything. But then you just said an amazing thing, like you said, even though Korea had the same case before in the history, and then when the foreign investors started coming, the Korea actually literally became more powerful than before, like learned their know-hows and started to build their own business. Nobody's gonna like building an empire of a business, nobody can start from scratch because it's already been done, right? So if we could learn these steps from the from all these investors and all these huge businesses, that's a great thing.
Like if
and
you
then
just
modify it in the way, right?
if you just think in a little bit different way, as a way of developing, way of improving themselves, then it shouldn't be a burden, it shouldn't be a bad things to have foreign investment and things like that's really true. If you think of in that case, especially when Tom and Tom's and things came, there was no such branding cafe as I thought of, in Mongolia. But as I see, I don't know if it's timing or not. Since those branch came and settled down here, I start to see the Mongolian local
Coffee shop, like
a
rock.
rock. And the rock and those things, and then
There's roasteries, right? The Ulaanbaatar coffee. What is rock? There are a lot of roasteries now.
And then even myself, rather than going to Tom and Tom's, actually I prefer to go to ROC.
Oh yeah,
It means they're successful.
Yeah, they're successful. Yeah, me too. I'm a client of rock. I'm not paid.
So in that sense, I think if you start to not sing as a like more like foreign people trying to steal something, but actually not, right?
No, of course not.
E-mart and all this, it's just not, rather than just hey, why it's all Korean stuff, not American stuff. More like if you start to embrace that and try to find what to learn and what to get it, and then from that, I think everything is starting from copying, right? Mimicking, and then you start to create your own things, right? So I think that's the attitude. I think really it'll be good if people have such attitude and to embrace this multi-global culture and this business mindset. That would be nice.
Okay, thank you. That was a quite good example that you mentioned. So we have reached our end of our podcast. Thank you for accepting our invitation. And then, well, like I'm used to saying our because Ehab is not here, but then and then always pleasure to have you here at our podcast if anytime if you want. If there is a case that like with Ehab is gone like this, I would ask you to co-host with me. So we usually leave the last moment to our guest to say if there's any quote, any comment that you would like to share. This is your moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. And thank you, Bagi, as in also in person, to think of me as the friend and the guy who loves Mongolia. And yes, I do love Mongolia and I respect this country. And then, yeah. And I always be ready, everything is for promoting Mongolia and Korea. Let me know, and I'll always be there. And then, yeah, see you soon. Maybe somewhere on the stage.
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
I see Bagi's time to time on the stage too.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Thank you for accepting our invitation. And ladies and gentlemen, this is our end of our episode 7. Thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll see you on the episode 8. And please don't forget to subscribe. It won't cost you much, but it helps a lot to us.